Hello dear student, I welcome you once again to Social Studies in Standard 8. Social Studies Standard 8. We are still moving on. The work is still here. So as you can see here, let me take you to this work that is here. The work is here, 26 units. This is just a reminder. Look at the work. All this work is waiting for you. Now, you don't have much time to play. You have much time to stay focused on this work. Because this is, as you can see, only social studies, just as I said. Science has also got a number of them. Mathematics, the same. So, these are the things that are waiting only for you. So, this is a reminder. Now, in Unit 11, remember, we divided it into 3. There is part 1, part 2, and part 3. Unit 11 is all about trade and hire purchase. So, trade and hire purchase. But still more, there is work to go to Unit 26. So, all this work needs you to focus on. So, stay focused. Handle each and every subject as if it is your last day to study. Then you are going to pick it very well, pick it up very well. The other time I will share you the study skills as you study your work. Remember, there are those major subjects you need to put them on a daily basis that you should be studying them, study in books, and also remember to go through where you have missed the concept. Sometimes you can have maybe that phone or that computer, that screen, stay focused, play the video, then follow through, then you do other things, come back on the other subject, like that. You need also to have a special timetable for you. So, right, this time I'll be listening to social, this time agriculture, this time I will do science, this time all those subjects that you have. Now, let us proceed, however. Social Studies in Standard 8, Unit number 11, where we are looking at trade and hire purchase. But today we are looking on part 3, the last part of trade and hire purchase. But today we're going to look at hire purchase. So as you can see here, this is our last part that we are looking at, trade and hire purchase. Now, on trade and hire purchase, there are a number of things that we are going to look at. The first thing to look at is the meaning. Let us look at the meaning of trade and hire purchase. When we say hire purchase, it is the system of buying items by means of installments. The system of buying items by means of installments. What it means there is that you want to buy something, but you are going to pay in bits. So that is a hire purchase. Did you know that? Right? So it is a common way of paying for major items such as car, furniture, and computers. There are some other items that are very expensive sometimes to buy at once. So it is a common way of paying to those bigger items like car. It is expensive. Furniture is expensive to buy a fridge, sofa, and all those things. Find that you cannot manage at once, but they are needed. Computers, very expensive. You can also pay in installments. So hire purchase happens when a buyer cannot afford to pay the price asked for an item in a lump sum, but can afford to pay a deposit and the balance by installments. So the buyer, the condition for hire purchase, the condition that influence hire purchase is this one. You need an item, you need to buy a house, but you don't have the money at once. For example, they are charging the house at 50 million kwacha. But you don't have the money. But you can manage to pay maybe in 3 months to say, all right, I can pay 5 million, then you are done. So that is hire purchase. So the condition that necessitates or that influence this hire purchase, it is where a buyer cannot afford to pay the price asked for an item in lump sum, but can afford to pay a deposit and the balance by installments. A buyer cannot manage to pay the price of the item at once in a lump sum. Lump sum means just at once paying the whole money charged. So a buyer cannot manage. So the condition that one to say, if you cannot manage but you want the item, then you agree with the seller to say, let me pay the deposit, you have this thing, then I'll pay the rest by installments. So that is hire purchase. I guess you understand what hire purchase now means. Now let us look at the advantages. What are the advantages of hire purchase? Advantages of hire purchase. Number one, it allows consumers to spread the cost of expensive items over an extended period of time. So it allows the consumer or the buyer to spread the cost of that expensive thing over a period, extended period. To say, I'll pay this, I'll pay that, I'll pay that, then I have this. So that is a hire purchase. You extend the period of buying your thing. Number two, it allows the buyer to enjoy possession of goods before full payment. Sometimes the buyer is given that good to say, all right, you want this, all right, get the machine, get the thing, get the house, you'll be paying as you go. So you enjoy the thing. The advantage of hire purchase is sometimes you enjoy the thing before you have fully completed paying for the thing. So it is an advantage there. Number three is that people are able to acquire a variety of assets such as vehicles, machinery, electronic equipment, and many others which they could not have afforded by cash. So one advantage or another advantage of hire purchase is that you are able to acquire different things. Maybe you get this, you get that, all on hire purchase. Come month end, maybe you pay this a little, this a little, this a little, but you have those things. The other month you pay this and that, until you get you pay all those amounts. So it allows you to acquire, to have those things, many expensive things just at once, which you could not pay them at once, maybe to buy them on cash. And also there is this advantage or disadvantage that the buyer gets things at a higher price because of the interest. So what we're saying is the hire purchase, on hire purchase, it has got the disadvantages. The disadvantages of the hire purchase is that you can sometimes get the things on a higher price because you'll be charged interest on that one. Number two, the buyer becomes the rightful owner of items after a long time. So the buyer, you'll be the owner after a long time. For example, maybe 3 months, 4 months, that's where you become the owner of that. But before completion, you don't have full authority over that item. It is no longer yours. Although you are enjoying it, but it still remains the item of the seller, because he can grab it if you default, if you don't pay the remaining balance. And also the buyer continues to pay for items even when it has been destroyed or stolen. You bought a car on a hire purchase, barely after a month or two, then the car is stolen or it is broken. Still more you'll be paying for that car, although there is no car at that time. So it is a disadvantage to say sometimes it will be painful to you to pay for the thing which is not there because it has been stolen or it has been destroyed. The buyer may run onto debts due to poor planning. Sometimes people, they plan poorly to say, I'll get this, I'll get that, I'll get that, I'll get that on hire purchase. Then come month end, time to pay the remaining balances. Then you don't have the money. What do? You go on credits again. You borrow from this one to pay for those goods. So the buyer may run into credits or into debts because of poor planning. And also, the seller fails to get a full amount of the money for an item immediately. So disadvantage is that the seller may not get full amount of that thing. So it is a disadvantage to the seller because the car costs 8 million, then someone gives you 3 million, then 2 million, then 2 million, like that. So you don't get the full value of that at once. So the seller has also a disadvantage on that. And finally, the seller may face many problems from untrustworthy buyers. So the seller sometimes may face those problems from untrustworthy buyers. The buyers who may not honor the period of payment. So they are crooks. They may say this today, that today, then the seller may not get his amount of the item. May lose sometimes, may lose. Yeah. So to this far, we have come to the end of this unit. That is unit 11 part 3, and indeed the end of the whole unit, the topic where we are looking at trade and hire purchase. We started by describing trade, and now we have finished by looking at what hire purchase is, the advantages and disadvantages of the hire purchase. I guess to this far you know what hire purchase is, what trade is, and you are able to differentiate different aspects. But here, before I leave you, here is the exercise that you need to go through. Pause the video and copy the questions so that you follow through. So these are the questions. There are about 5 questions. Remember to pause. You can pause the video. You pause the video, then you copy, and you are able to do it. So this is the work that is for you. So we are continuing with social studies, just as I told you that there are 26 units. But next time we're going to look at unit number 12, and this unit is all about insurance. So be there next time as we look at insurance. What is insurance? So it's another good lesson that we have, unit number 12. Thank you for your attention, and until next time, thank you so much.